right, ready to unlock some serious potential.
I'm all ears.
We're diving into Brian Tracy's $1,000,000 Habits. This book, it's like a treasure map to a better life.
Oh, I know Brian Tracy. He's got some great insights.
It's not just about making more money, though that's in there. It's about transforming your health, relationships, your career, everything.
Right, that whole become the best version of yourself kind of thing.
Exactly. And the best part, Tracy says we're not stuck with who we were yesterday. We can reprogram our self-concept, like hit the rewrite button.
Yeah, that's a powerful concept. You really think we can change our self-concept that much?
That's what he says. And he breaks it down so it actually feels doable.
All right, I'm intrigued. So how do we do it?
Well, he says it starts with these three things: self-ideal, self-image, and self-esteem.
Okay, those are pretty familiar terms. But how does Tracy use them?
He digs deeper, gives you actual tools, not just vague advice. Like with self-ideal, it's not just about wishing or hoping. It's about creating this crystal clear vision of your best self.
So, like, if you want to be a great musician, you don't just say, I want to be a great musician. You actually picture yourself on stage, feeling the music, nailing that solo.
Exactly. You imagine yourself embodying those qualities, achieving those goals. It's like painting a masterpiece, but on the canvas of your future self.
I like that. Okay, what about self-image?
Ah, that inner voice, right. It can be brutal. Tracy says we got to replace those negative tapes with positive affirmations.
So ditch the I can't and crank up the I got this.
You got it. Visualize yourself rocking those situations that usually make you nervous. Give your brain a new script to follow.
Okay, love that. Self-ideal, check. Self-image, check. What about building up that unshakable self-esteem?
This is where celebrating those wins comes in.
Yeah.
Every win, no matter how small.
So, like, even if it's just acing a presentation at work or finally baking that perfect loaf of bread.
Exactly. Those wins matter. It's about recognizing your progress, fueling your motivation to keep growing.
It's like building a tower, brick by brick. Every win is another brick towards that amazing life you're building.
Okay, so we're on our way to mastering our minds.
Definitely a good start, right?
But what about these bodies we're walking around in?
You mean, like, are we giving them enough love?
Tracy really drives home that, hell, it's not just luck.
It's a choice, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every single day. And he's got these 6 key habits.
Ooh, key habits. I like that. Lay it on me.
He starts with weight management. And I gotta say, I appreciate his no-nonsense approach.
What, none of that fad diet stuff?
Nope. He puts right through it. He says, take ownership of what you're putting in your body.
Makes sense. You are what you eat, right?
And it always comes back to that fundamental truth. Eat less, move more.
Simple, but not always easy.
Right. But then he digs deeper into nutrition, goes beyond just calories. He's all about whole foods, avoiding those processed nasties.
Usual suspects, right? Sugar, white flour.
Oh, and he calls salt, sugar, and refined flour the 3 poisons.
3 poisons, gotta remember that. But you know what's really interesting?
What's that?
He has this whole thing about meal timing. Like, when you eat matters as much as what you eat.
I was skeptical at first too, but the science is pretty fascinating.
So tell me, what's the magic hour? When should we stop eating?
He suggests going lighter after 2:00 p.m. It's about working with your body's natural rhythms.
Huh, I've never really thought about it like that.
It's called chronobiology, and it's pretty amazing how much it impacts our health.
Okay, so we're eating well, but what about moving our bodies? I'm not exactly a gym rat, so I'm hoping Tracy's got some gentler suggestions.
You're in luck. He's all about consistency over intensity.
So we don't have to suddenly become marathon runners.
No marathons required.
Yeah.
He suggests aiming for 200 minutes of exercise per week.
Okay, 200 minutes. That feels doable. Way better than those crazy workout challenges you see online.
And it's about finding what you enjoy. Make it sustainable.
It's got to be something you can stick with, for sure.
You know what else he's a huge advocate for?
Hit me with it.
Sleep. Not just a little power nap.
No kidding. I could use more sleep.
We're talking a solid 7 to 8 hours every night.
He's not messing around with that one.
He sees it as essential, just like eating or breathing.
Makes sense when you put it like that. Rest is important.
Yeah.
But he said 120 days off per year, right? That seems like a lot.
I know, 120 days, that's a third of the year.
So we're not just talking weekends here.
He means vacations, long weekends, even just taking breaks from your usual routine. Downtime is crucial.
Okay, so it's all about recharging those batteries, preventing burnout. Makes sense.
And, he doesn't neglect the basics either. Dental hygiene, regular checkups, clean living environment.
Those things are important too, but easy to let slip.
Exactly. But these little things, they make a difference in the long run.
It all adds up, right?
And of course, a calm mind. Tracy's a big believer in daily meditation.
Meditation, I've heard that's good for you.
He also emphasizes moderation in all things and cultivating an optimistic outlook.
So it's all connected, the mind and body. Take care of one, the other benefits too.
Totally. Okay, we've covered minds and bodies. What about something else that's super important?
What could that be? Work-life balance.
Close. We're going to talk about relationships.
Oh, relationships. The heart of it all.
Tracy says they're the biggest contributor to our happiness.
That just feels true, doesn't it?
Right. And we all crave that connection, you know?
Absolutely. But sometimes relationships can be tough.
They can be complicated, that's for sure.
So what's Tracy's secret sauce for building those strong connections?
Now, he starts with unconditional acceptance.
Unconditional acceptance. That's a big one. What does that look like in practice?
It could be as simple as greeting someone with a genuine smile
Oh, I like that.
or offering a listening ear, really being present for the other person.
Making them feel seen and valued just as they are.
It's funny, we talk about relationships, but sometimes we overcomplicate them.
We do. It's about connection, plain and simple.
Exactly. Speaking of things we overcomplicate, what about work? It's easy to get stuck in that rut, seeing it as just a chore.
Oh, tell me about it. But Tracy doesn't want us to just settle, does he?
Not at all. He's all about finding genuine fulfillment in what we do. He actually throws down a challenge.
A challenge, huh? I like it.
He wants us to find our zone of genius.
Zone of genius.
Ah.
Sounds intense.
It's that sweet spot where our talents and our passions, they kind of collide. Those things you're naturally drawn to.
The stuff that lights you up makes the time fly by.
Yes, that's your zone of genius calling.
So how do we find it, this zone?
Well, Tracy's a big believer in planning, like really strategic life planning. We're talking long-term goals, those big, audacious dreams.
Okay, so we've got big dreams. Now what?
We got to break them down. Smaller milestones, manageable steps. It's like creating a roadmap to success.
I like that, the roadmap analogy. Keeps you on track. But what about when things get tough? How do you stay motivated?
That's where the high achiever mindset comes in.
High achiever, now that sounds a little intimidating.
It's not about being cutthroat or anything. It's about shifting your perspective, seeing challenges as opportunities to grow.
So like setbacks, they're not failures, they're just detours.
Exactly. And you got to believe in yourself, like really believe you can achieve those goals.
Mind over matter, right.
And here's a practical tip Tracy swears by. Write down your goals every night. He says it's like planting seeds in your subconscious.
Interesting. So while you're sleeping, your mind's working on those goals.
That's the idea. I've tried it, and it's amazing how much clearer things seem in the morning.
Huh. Might have to give that a try. Any other productivity hacks up his sleeve?
Oh, he's got plenty. Focus on your strengths.
Yeah.
Always be prepared. Do your best work every single time.
Solid advice.
Oh, and he's a stickler for first impressions. Dress for success. Keep a tidy workspace. Those details matter.
Can't argue with that. Okay, so we've covered health, relationships, fulfilling work. What's left?
Well, we can't forget everyone's favorite topic.
Don't tell me. Let me guess. Stop money.
You got it. Financial freedom. But Tracy's not about those get-rich-quick schemes.
No, he always emphasizes the long game, right?
Absolutely. It's about building wealth through smart habits, and it starts with saving. He recommends putting aside at least 10% of your income right off the top.
Treat it like a non-negotiable expense. Makes sense.
And he has this really cool concept called the wedge theory. Imagine this. Every time you get a raise, you save 50% of it.
Whoa, 50%. That's a big chunk.
It is, but think about it. Those savings add up fast. It's the snowball effect in action.
I see what you mean. Small changes, big results over time.
And of course, seeking advice from a trusted financial advisor is key. Someone who gets you, understands your goals. It's like having a financial co-pilot.
Someone to help you navigate all those investment waters.
Exactly. But remember, building wealth, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Patience is key.
Let that compound interest work its magic. So that's $1 Million Habits in a nutshell. It's been quite a journey exploring these ideas with you.
It really has. It's amazing how much power we have to shape our lives when we make those conscious choices.
Those little habits, they really can make all the difference. It's inspiring, really.
It is. We'd love to hear from you. What resonated most with you today? And if you could pick just $1 million habit to focus on right now, what would it be? Keep striving, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.